I think Chris Wallace, let's say, he'd be having a stiff drink, wouldn't he?
Well, he somewhat deserves it, and he might as well also think about giving himself an uppercut here, because Wallace was the story. And that's the problem. Every time this thing started to get good, if you're somebody who likes or hates Trump or Biden, you wanted to see them going at it. Every time it started to get towards a momentum of going at it, be it on whatever you think, you know, the final piece of the kaplunk is, he cut it off. He changed the subject. Oh, sorry, under the rules we've agreed to this, we've agreed to that. Now, Wallace went into this debate saying he wanted to be invisible, that it was a great debate if he was invisible. He was anything but, and he obviously was frustrated with Trump because Trump's tactic was that in order to get back into the game, he needed to push Biden as far as he could to rough him up and for Biden to be able to start to trip. That said, I know we're going to get into everything a little more detail, but I'll make the most of the seconds that I have here. There's only 30% of Americans who said that debates will matter to how their vote is going to go. Now, these debates will be Rorschach tests. If you're over the noise and the carry-on of Trump, well, you've done nothing to dissuade that view, and you're probably going to end up going with Biden. But Biden said Antifa is not an idea, not an organisation. That's not true. He said that he's not for the Green New Deal. That will annoy members of the left who, remember, stayed back and didn't vote for Hillary. He has gone for a company tax increase, which means the ability for the Republicans to do a shorten on him is going to be pretty massive. He says that he is the Democratic Party. I don't know whether Bernie and his mates will be fine with that. And finally, he frankly ignored questions about the Supreme Court, and that means the changing of the system. So look, will every media poll give it to Biden? Absolutely. Did Trump deliver the knockout that people wanted? No. Did he soil himself, Biden? No. But in the end, I think a lot of people will talk about how a moderator wouldn't quite let a debate get going.
Paul, just to pick up on that court point that Paul Murray mentioned there, let's recap a little of that exchange in the debate.
Are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should speak. You should go out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now. Make sure you, in fact, let people know you're a senator. I'm not going to answer the question.
Why wouldn't you answer that question?
The question is,
radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
James Morrow, to you on that, because I think that's emblematic of what we saw at various times when Joe Biden was facing a difficult moment. The president almost assisted him by interjecting so much.
Yeah, look, I think the first half of the debate, Donald Trump didn't do what I think he should have done from the beginning, which was to allow Joe Biden the space to trip over himself. We've seen in other performances he's made, he does trip over himself. He is not good with his words. So by giving Biden something to push back against, you know, he does create sort of a bit of sympathy for him. That said, I think that Chris Wallace gave Joe Biden just an appalling number of assists right now. And, you know, why wouldn't a moderator like Chris Wallace then say, no, Joe Biden, please answer the question. You want to be president. Will you pack the court? You can't just say, no, I'm not going to make an issue out of that. Well, a lot of people are going to come away thinking, you know, either that, yes, Joe Biden does have a plan to pack the Supreme Court, or B, that he doesn't understand the rudiments of the American Constitution and thinks there's some Australian Westminster-style caretaker system where when you get up close to an election, you can't appoint a judge.